And if I may ask you, I heard that you didn't watch the show until you were, I think, a sophomore in college.
Yeah.
If I may ask you why.
We would do the show, and I remember the first season. I watched a few episodes with my family, and then at a certain point, you're just kind of doing the show, and you see it while it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And like, especially when we were doing live tapings, you know, you'd watch the other scenes that were happening, and so it was like when they would come out, you were already like you're 10 episodes ahead because you've been filming them, and so you just like I wasn't sitting down on Sunday night to watch the show. Especially because we had to go to work the next morning. So I didn't ever really think about it. And then I went straight from that show to a different show, and I just never really watched it. And then I was, you know, going through fraternity hazing and getting made fun of for being on the show so much. And I came home one night and I was like, I got to see what this thing's about. You know, like what's everybody laughing at? And then I turned it on. It was like 3 a.m. I watched a few episodes. And I was like, show's pretty funny. Like,
it really was
pretty good.
Wait, to talk about that though, I mean, you go from being a child star. I mean, you mentioned millions of TVs. Your face is on that, right? From being this prominent child star to being a college student.
Yeah.
Stark difference.
Yeah, very different.
I mean, what was that experience like for you?
Man, I certainly needed it, and I think it was the best decision I've ever made in my life. I look at a lot of people who finished the runs that they had on TV and then just kind of fall to the idea of like, well, I need to go on to the next thing. And it sucks because like, you know, you kind of just get chewed up and spit out. And like when they're done with you, you're done, you know, and you got to hope for the next gig. You kind of always assume you'll keep working. And now I think that I have that realization of like, oh, I won't, you know, it's like you're always hoping for the next job. And I think for me to go to college, I started Good Luck Charlie at 9, 10 years old, didn't go to middle school, didn't go to high school. And it was just kind of like, you know, I need to do something real and do something for me and kind of understand life a little more. And I think it was a cool choice for me. And it was, you know, I didn't go very far away. I went to USC. So it was 45 minutes from my parents' house. But, you know, it was still like a big culture shock for me. But I think that like the first few weeks there were really tough just because people were like, why are you here? You know? And
are you that kid?
Yeah, it was a lot of that. And then eventually you're like passing them on the way to class every day and they're just like, I don't care anymore, you know? And then you just kind of fall in line with them. And I think that was like my goal was to just make sure I embraced it at the start till eventually people were just like, oh, it's just a normal.
Interesting. Obviously you had a great childhood.
Yeah.
But if you can go back, would you, I mean, want a normal childhood?
No, I had an awesome childhood. I was so happy with everything I got to do. There's not many things I feel like I missed out on. I always made the joke of like, I wanted to go to high school so bad when I was in high school. Like I saw like my friends from home going to high school. And now I'm like, who the hell wants to go to high school? What a terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't. I
got to work on television. Like who gives a shit? It's just high school sounds terrible. You know, I was like listening to people complain about it. And then I'm like, oh, I wish I was there. And then I'm like, why would I want to have done
literally?
That's terrible.
Yeah.
You know, I'm perfectly happy with the way my life turned out.